Dude, going to Bear Lake, we had a couple people walk up to us. They had no idea that like fighting was even a sport. Like there was an older couple that walked in when we were setting up the cage, and they had no idea what we were talking about when we said that there was people fighting with gloves on. Not a clue. And I was sitting there going like, this is my whole world. And a lot of people, this is their whole world. And you have no idea what it even is.
Did you have a chance to run back into them afterwards?
I don't know if they ended up coming to the show or not. But
I would love to hear like their opinion on it afterwards.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Is it, oh man, this is brutality, or is it, yo, this is really cool. This I didn't know.
I think there's a little bit of primal in everybody. So I think, yeah, fighting is fighting. And I think, yeah, it brings out a character in you.
Yeah. You obviously just wrapped up. Was it Utah side or Idaho side?
It was Utah side.
Utah side, Bear Lake, Fierce Fighting Championship. Well, this is the Fierce Challenger Series, right?
Challenger Series, yep.
Outside.
Yep.
I seen the Blake. He posted the video of you mopping the canvas. First off, I want to start off with congratulations for pulling it off.
We got lucky.
Yeah, I seen For Effects. I was like, that was, aside from the cage, I was like, holy smokes, what's Wing and the rest of the crew doing with all the electronics? Are they in the canopy or something? Like, what's going on with that?
I hope that Marcus doesn't hate me for saying this, but Marcus was running around in his underwear because he didn't want to get wet. So he was shirtless, took his socks and shoes off. It got really bad at one point. So we were planning on putting their big screen outside, and ultimately decided that was not a good idea. They got all their stuff unloaded, threw up 2 tarps to block the wind, and then the storm rolled in right after that. So they got extremely lucky with their equipment because they were just under that back corner of the pavilion, like right behind the screen. I don't know if you saw what the layout looked like, but the wind was literally coming from the mountain down and just pushing into all of their equipment right there.
Oh my gosh. That sideways rain is not good.
It was very scary for all of us. So Zach and I had gone down there in the morning to kind of get everything laid out with him and get an idea going. And then there was there was a slight chance of rain. I think it was 5%. I mean, we checked everybody's app, all different weather apps, like everything, trying to figure out what we needed to do. We probably spent at least an hour and a half at like 10 a.m. We called Scott with the commission. We called Marcus with Light and Sound. We called Riley with Garden City. We were talking to everybody like, hey, what's our backup plan if shit hits the fan? And ultimately, Scott told us, so we had a tent, a ginormous tent that we could set up. It would take like 4 or 5 hours. We would have had to do it like right then and there to get it done before the show started. Or we could gamble with the weather and go no tent, but if we had to postpone, then we could turn the lights on in the park. So it was either force through the rain under the tent but risk darkness on the cage, or you put the tent up, or you don't put the tent up and you risk the weather, but you can postpone for however long we need to, realistically, because we have light.
Now, here's the thing, too, is that what people didn't understand is that there's a pay-per-view aspect to this thing.
Yes.
You got people that have bought pay-per-view tickets, so if you don't have light in the cage, it'd probably make the viewing experience really bad.
Yep.
And you get one shot. Like, if somebody on this card is watching for the first time and they have a poor experience, they might not buy it again.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you may or may not know this, but, like, we have heard through the grapevine that, like, Fight Pass is looking at us. So we have to pay attention to what our pay-per-view looks like. So, yeah, tons of just variables and factors, and me and Zach are just scrambling through it last minute. But anyway, we ended up going down, helping Marcus get started, went back up to the Airbnb, kind of started changing and getting ready, and all of our families are there and whatnot. So we're trying to get kids ready and packed into the car and all this stuff. My good buddy Sessa, I don't know if you've met him, but he helps me with the cage. Amazing dude. We go way back. Anyway, he's the only person that came up with me to help me do the cage. So it's just us.
And how many do you usually have? Like when we do the Masonic Temple?
When we're doing the temple, we're also doing the entire venue.
Gotcha.
But we typically have like six to eight people that show up and help.
Bear Lake, just you and Sessa.
Just me and Sessa. I mean, Zach was there. Taylor was there. There was a couple helping hands and whatnot. But, I mean, that was kind of mine and Sessa's domain and our responsibility. So start sprinkling up at the Airbnb, which is a couple miles up the mountain. And we're like, okay, we need to go down and figure something out with the cage. We get down there, and we're like, we either have to deal with, so we just got new foam for the canvas or for the cage as well, and it's a little bit taller than it used to be, a little bit softer, a little bit taller. So how the fence sits down on it, it was literally sealing the fence to the floor, and no water was able to escape. So there was literally a pool in the cage.
You know what? I did notice that because you put water bottles to wedge it up.
We had to shove water bottles in and create a couple holes so that we could squeegee it out. So after dealing with that, then we're like, okay, we either have to do that or we need to figure out how to cover the entire thing. We ended up we had the Maverick Center canvas in the trailer still. So we just start tying it up, hoping that, we can get some water out. Well, it starts pooling in the middle, obviously. So then we grab the mop and the two mops and the squeegee, and we duct tape them together and create like a big tent. And it was working, but there was still a bunch of water getting in, and we were just trying to keep it as dry as we could. So then the Garden City people, they end up bringing us that pipe, and we kind of recreate that whole thing. And the whole time, I mean, it's hailing and it's dumping. It is coming down. And then we got Marcus running around with no shirt on, and we're trying to just make sure the speakers and all of the equipment everywhere is good to go. And
Marcus had pants on, though.
He did have pants on.
At least his drawers was on.
Yeah. But, dude, it was literally mayhem. And we're all just, I mean, there's nothing we can do. You can't, literally nothing. We talked about, can we move the whole entire cage underneath the pavilion? Like, nothing. The time that we had before doors opened, there was nothing that we could do. So we just kind of dealt with it, laughed about it. Blake was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, can I record you? And I'm like, can I keep working while you record me? Because I'm trying to keep this thing, like, good to go. He's like, yeah. So we got that funny little clip. And then it was like 3:33. And I remember looking at my phone, and I was talking to Paul, and I was like, how long does it take? Or sorry, it was 2:33. No, it was 3:33. Doors were open. It was still sprinkling. People were coming in with umbrellas and whatnot. And I was talking to Paul. I was like, how long does it take you guys to get your cameras up and mounted and, like, be ready to go? And he's like, we probably need 20 minutes. And I was like, okay, 20 minutes is here very soon. So we start pulling down that canvas, getting everything ready, and I swear, I'm not even kidding you. As soon as we got that canvas down, it stopped raining, and it never started again.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you to the MMA gods.
Yeah.
Man, oh, shoot, man. I would have had a nervous breakdown. Like I would have been like, oh, my gosh. But I think the one thing that you said is that you kind of have a chuckle about it. Like, what can you do? You guys... A, B, C, you guys checked everything that you could off.
Yep.
And cool heads prevailed, it sounds like, and you guys, had it seemed like a quick event. It seemed like a lot of quick finishes.
Yep, there was the 9 fights, and yeah, I mean, it went perfectly. It could not have gone more perfectly given the disaster of a day that we were having.
This is the third Bear Lake show?
Second
Bear Lake show.
Yep.
Always towards the end of, always in summer.
In September is when we try and go after Labor Day.
Oh, do we go before Labor Day?
We have, there's a lot of conversations that are currently happening.
After this one, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Like, do you have, like, what's the approach for the next one? Do you kind of just, go the tent route just to be safe?
We have a couple different layouts. I haven't had time to actually, like, sit down and map them out and play with them logistics wise.
By the way, the show just ended. It was just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, we have a couple different options. We are looking at putting the cage underneath the pavilion. there's a couple different options that we're going to mess around with. And like I said, there's still a lot of variables and a lot of conversations that are currently happening that will ultimately decide whether or not we're going back next year, which I do want to.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I'm assuming you watched the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It looks so cool. The bounce house is in the background, the green grass, like it looks awesome. It's a one-of-a-kind event. But yeah, there's a lot more to worry about there than anywhere else. So.
Yeah, I mean a lot of technology, right? And now that you have more eyes, I think you kind of have to put it on the business cap now. It's like we got more eyes. We got to make sure that we're fine-tuned. Fierce, the show is fine-tuned, but now we got to be very, very fine-tuned if we're going to get the opportunity like you mentioned with Fight Pass.
Yep. And I think that, yeah, I mean, an outside show is an outside show. It's not that we can't have a venue or we don't have a venue. It's we chose to do this, and ultimately it was the most insane team building experience that I think you could possibly have. I mean,
hell yeah,
it was wild.
What's the feeling from Bear Lake community? What's the feeling that you guys are getting? Second time up there, do you feel like the crowd, like, they intense, they like it, they want it back?
I think that the people that come, everyone was stoked. Yeah. I mean, people were hanging out until we were done cleaning up for the most part. We waited to tear the cage down because it was getting dark, but I think that a lot of people do appreciate it and they do want it back. But it is an older community. And like I was saying, like those people that came up to us when we were setting up the cage, and they just have no clue what fighting even is. So I don't know. I'm a little bit mixed on. I think that if we continue to do it, if we do it again next year and we go back for Raspberry Days and we spend time really advertising it for the next year, I do think that the event will continue to get bigger, and I think that it will bring the community together. But right now, yeah, it's a little bit confusing. It's a little bit confusing.
Well, that's the life of a promotion, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, right now, I mean, you're so young into it. Like this promotion's been around for a while, but as far as like when you guys started taking over, I say you guys with you, Zach, and the team, and you built a team together. It's fairly young. It's like 2021.
3 years. We're in about 3 years, I think.
It's funny because I did my first interview with Laporte and Partridge at the radio station, and it was even before I DJ'd. I went to the first show, and Zach wasn't even. It wasn't his show yet.
Yep.
And it showed up on my Facebook recently, and I was like, oh man, how time flies. It's crazy.
Now, I know you know that's not all. Check out the full episode right now on the Patreon. Patreon.com/DreRawka. DreRawka. Check it out before everybody else.